Stand up if you with us, if not, they be seated. You seen them in every arena. Eddie and Nika, who really got something to fight for. Everybody saying they're the GOAT, who the one that slayed the Chupacabra. Your favorite girls.
Good evening and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. I hope everybody's having a happy new year. I know we are. Crystal, Nika, how was your new year?
It was good. I'm still alive. So,
we're here.
Haters have
we're
to
here.
do it a little bit longer,
Right. We're going to talk about it. But let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Arte de Tere, for our wonderful videos and thumbnails, and Kush with the C for our intro. And then, of course, Hispanics Causing Panic. And they come on every Monday and some Wednesdays. So please follow and subscribe and tune in because D-Style and Calix have a great show. They're always talking boxing. They know their facts. And yeah, we support them 100%. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right.
But so look, we're not new to the show, but we are new to the super chats. So last week we didn't get any super chats and people were asking why. Well, it's my fault. I did not connect the super chats to a bank account. So I will be doing that tomorrow. So for tonight, we have the Cash App. And it will go directly to that. So please feel free to support your girls. We're gonna build a little nest so that we can start traveling the world and see all of our friends and see all of the big fights. So thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate you so much. But we're gonna have a great show tonight. We have a female boxer, professional boxer, and I'm super excited. Shamara Woods. And she's backstage. It's going to be coming on in a second. But before she does, I just want to say that I am proclaiming that 2024 is the year of women boxing. Ladies, what are your thoughts about that?
I don't know if it's going to be the year of women boxing.
Nika!
No, I would like it to be, but I don't know if that's going to be the case because the men I see are like online doing the most. They're acting what people would say like women, they're like comparing female boxers' looks to each other's, and it's just like, and these are guys that don't even have a profile picture. It's like, oh, who looks better? It's like, why do you care? Does that have anything to do with their skill of fighting? But you want to know who looks better?
I definitely,
and your wife is in the
yeah.
bedroom, and you want to know what boxing is better. Like, come on, that's like this. So, I think the men are gonna hold back the women boxing. If I'm being honest,
I'm just gonna put it out there into the universe, and we're gonna step on their heads, and we're gonna keep on going. That's what I say. Crystal, what do you got to say about that?
Well, it's build up. So it's not hiding per se the sport of boxing. That's their opinion. They're crazy. They're out there. There's a lot of them out there. So and this is nothing new in the boxing world, especially for the female boxers. Even in the amateur stage, we see this crazy opinions that people have. This fighter is better than this fighter because they look better physically than this fighter. So nothing new per se, but do it look a little ridiculous? Absolutely. It's not stopping them. They continue it.
I agree. So without further ado, let's get our guest on, Shamara Woods.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello, Shamara. How are you?
Well.
Hello, Queen. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, just relaxing.
Good. How was your new year?
It was actually really peaceful. I really don't do a lot. I'm not somebody that really likes to go out and party, so it was relaxing.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I want to introduce myself, Christine Lopez, and then my panel, please introduce yourself to Shamara.
Hi, I'm Nika. I'm the nicest one up here.
She is. She is definitely the nicest one. We're very mean, Crystal and I.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
it.
Crystal here. Thank you.
So,
Let me
for
see if I can
for
do.
those that don't know who you are in our chat, we have an amazing chat. Shout out to the chat. Happy New Year to them all. Let everybody know who you are.
I'm Shamara Woods. I'm 27 years old. I'm a pro boxer. I just turned pro actually this year in March, shortly after my 27th birthday. And I am a verified amateur boxer. So I competed in USA Boxing. I went to nationals. So I have about 35 amateur fights under my belt as an amateur from Florida. I now live in Pennsylvania. So I'm repping PA. And I'm also a
Okay.
mom.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I had read that you started competing at about 17. Is that correct?
I did, and most people don't know. I actually didn't start competing in boxing. I started off in Muay Thai. That was my first competition. Even though I was training
Ah,
boxing, I had stepped away from it for a little bit. It was like, let me dabble in some Muay Thai. And I took my first fight as a Muay Thai fight and then went into boxing again.
really?
I
Okay,
did.
so
So I have some
Muay Thai was
background.
first. So
Hmm.
before Muay Thai, were you into combat sports or did you do something
Yeah,
else?
I was in boxing. I had actually started boxing at 14. So I had moved from Chicago and I had a hard time adjusting to the South. So I needed an outlet, and sports were just not really it for me. And one day I walked into a boxing gym and it just clicked and I stuck with it. I just happened to get out of boxing and wanted to try some Muay Thai and kickboxing.
Wow, that's great. I love it. I'm kind of like you. Yeah, the relief of punching someone or someone punching you or hitting the bags, that does a lot mentally.
Yeah.
I probably need to turn pro.
Yeah, you might need to, Nika. We got
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got you. We got you. Let us know. Let us know. So Nika and Crystal, whenever we were talking about having Shamara on, what were some of your thoughts and questions that you wanted for her?
Well, this was like some new news that just came up. Since you asked that, Christine, so I would like to know, Shamara,
Yeah.
since they are allowing trans women to fight, what are your thoughts on that? To
Um,
fight
I'm I,
real.
I'm that of course is a very touchy subject because of the whole cancel culture. I'm very supportive of the trans community. I'm not supportive of the trans community dabbling into the women boxing community. And the only reason why is I personally feel, and if you kind of look scientifically and you do your research, you're genetically born a man. And that just that's the fact. That is what it is. And when you break it down, um, there's nothing you can do to change the fact that biologically we're born a man. You know, you can take enhance or you can take uh I think they're are what is it, estrogen or things like that.
Estrogen,
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, physically built, you can't change genetics. You can't change the way you were born. And I just don't feel like it's right because at the end of the day, we're not allowing women to go into men's boxing, even though some women transition to men. Why? Because physically we would not be able to keep up with a man. And that's just the fact of it is what it is. There's nothing we can do to change that. So I'm honestly very disappointed in USA Boxing. I think it's a big step back for women's boxing, and I think it's a little I don't want to say degrading, but in a sense it is because women have worked so hard to get to where we're at, and then to allow specific people to come in and be like, "Hey, we're now want to identify as women. We want to compete with women." I feel like they should kind of have their own league. Not saying they shouldn't compete, but to
Just
physically put a
man,
man
turn.
in sense in a woman's sport, it shouldn't be allowed. I don't even think they would do that in pros. So the fact that amateurs would do that and potentially risk injuring a female fighter, and a lot of these girls are starting young, you could damage a female's career. And that's just what it is. We're not genetically men.
Yeah, I agree with every last thing you said. I would like to put like 10 stamps on that. Like, they, yes, you should be able to compete, but they could have
Hmm.
like a league of their own, and not to Like women are already getting pushed out of everything else. Like
Yes.
we're getting scholarships taken away in
Hmm.
track and field, like all types of stuff. So swimming. So yeah, so I agree with everything you just said. So
Yeah, I definitely, I'm of course, I'm in support of everyone living, the way they feel
Sure.
comfortable, but
Absolutely.
don't interject it into a woman's sport because essentially we are naturally born women. That is what it is.
Absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. I'm I would love to see a league. I want everybody to feel comfortable and be
Hmm.
who they are. But I would like a separate league as well. I'm not sure what all of how this all came about, and I'm very curious to find out how it did, and I'm gonna do some more research. But I agree that I think everybody should have their own league. I am very modern. I think that we can do just about everything that a man can, and we can be just as successful. But as far as strength and things like that, I think there is a difference. Like we are different,
Yeah.
physically. Um, but yeah, so I'm very curious to see how this all plays out. I really am. Crystal, do you have anything for Shamara, or do you want to comment on this subject?
I will save my comment for that till after we're done to interview Miss Shea because I think she need to be in the spotlight. But
Mm.
I do have one question because someone in the chat they ask, what weight are you participating at the
I
professional level?
currently fight at 140. We will be going down to 35 and then eventually 132.
So
It,
who
it's
on
a
your
slow
hit list?
progression.
Who on your hit list for 2024?
2024, I can honestly say I don't have a specific hit list. Right now we're just really working my way up. I mean, I just turned pro. So, in women's boxing, obviously there's not a ton of women, but it's a slow progression. It's kind of seeing where 2024 is going to take us, what opportunities are going to arise. Of course, I've always wanted to share the ring with somebody like Alicia Bumgardner, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. Those are all women I've looked up to my whole career. But to take them at this point in my career is a little early. But
Right.
Sure.
eventually, I would love to share the ring with those women. Those are all women I've grown up watching, and it would be an honor.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And so what does your family think whenever you first competed in Muay Thai and then decided to go pro in boxing? What was the talk at the dinner table?
Okay, so my mom has always actually been really supportive of it. Back when I was 14, I decided I want to try boxing. My grandparents were actually the one that was like, "Yeah, put her in it. She needs something that
Love
that can
it.
take her anger out, get her out the streets, get her, focused on something." So they were always really supportive. My mom definitely is a worrier. Um, so at my first fight, you could hear my mom screaming, but my mom has been at every fight she can make. My father, of course, I'm
Oh.
like dad's little warrior princess. So my dad's, of course, supportive, is like, yo, go in there and knock these girls' heads off. So my family's supportive. We do people do definitely question my mom, like that's really the profession you want your daughter in, but she's like, whatever
uh,
makes her happy.
I love it. I love that. I think that's a good mom. That's a good mom.
Yeah.
Whatever makes her happy. Absolutely. So for 2023, what were the highlights for 2023 for you?
Oh man, 2023 was a big year for me. We actually weren't planning to go pro. So we had just finished nationals in Texas in December of 2022. I turned 27. I was actually down in Florida, funny story, with a friend of mine, and he was kind of talking about how he was going to be helping promote this pro show and all this stuff. And he wanted me to meet one of the matchmakers or whatever. And they gave me an opportunity. He was like, yo, we want you on our card. We'll take care of everything. And I called my coach and I was like, we should just go pro. And he was like,
Hmm.
you know what? Let's go for it. And that was like the beginning of like amazing year. I have to say it was a lot. Um, we took our first fight at the end of March, beginning of April, and then we got the other opportunity shortly. I want to say 3 weeks after my first fight, they called me again for my second fight in Florida. So I fought back to back, two pro fights, which you normally don't see. And then
Yeah.
we also went to DR, which was fantastic. We had a great time. We got a win. And then we ended off the year with
Fabulous.
4 professional fights. So it's a little unheard of, but we love it.
No, that's great. In one year, that's fabulous.
Yeah, that is.
And so tell us about your coach. Tell us about your gym.
Oh man, I have to brag on my coaches. I probably have
Please,
the
please.
best coach in the world. Like my coach is Fernando Arroyo. So my coach actually competed as an amateur. He was going to go pro, and then certain life circumstances. He has an amazing wife who's also actually a part of my team, which you normally don't see. A lot of the wives kind of sit back, but
I
she has
love
been at
it.
every single fight. She comes to every fight. Um, so my coach, I want to say, like, he's not just there as a coach. He's there as a mentor. He's there as a friend. So he doesn't only guide me in the ring, he guides me out of the ring. So he feeds me a lot of wisdom, which I feel like a lot of fighters are missing now. Like coaches are
Sure.
great coaches, but then outside the ring, their life is a mess. And
Right.
you know, and that's not their fault because a lot of people don't have someone to guide them. And I'm just so thankful and blessed that my coach does. And then I also have a coach from Florida, which is Rashad Mayes, and he's my strength and conditioning coach. Again, somebody I've had in my corner since amateurs and
What a
guides me, has
blessing.
been there for me. So I can say I'm so blessed and I'm so like so thankful.
No, I think that's fabulous. And the girls know I can just talk and talk and talk. So Crystal and Nika, what questions do y'all have for this queen? Because I can go on and on.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm mistaken or not because I could have sworn that I saw you. Did you try out for the Team Combat League?
I did
Okay.
actually.
Because Nika's in Florida. So
Yeah, no.
Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
I actually tried out for Team Combat League. Not in Florida though. It's actually out here in Philly. Since I'm out here, I live here. I figured it would make more sense. And I don't want to leave my coach here. So, and then it's a lot easier because I am a single mom. I have a 7-year-old boy, so it's a
oh,
lot easier to be in my home state than would be to travel to Florida and compete.
got it. Got it.
I think that's a great I guess this new thing that they came up with because like a lot of boxers who don't get fights, often they're still able to
Yeah.
make money, and I think they cover like health insurance and everything. So yeah.
Which is great because I'll let you guys in on a little secret. At the beginning, we are not making money. Everyone thinks you get into boxing and you make all this money, and it's a struggle in the beginning. As
Especially
especially as a
women.
single mom and a
Yeah.
woman, it is a
Yeah.
Mhm.
struggle. Like it's not the same opportunities as men, and that's just being realistic. We don't.
It is.
Um, so I'm excited. I'm hoping everything goes good in Team Combat League because
Yeah.
as much as I
I
love
hope you
fighting,
get
I
that. I
like
hope you
making
get that.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you get
Absolutely.
that. That would be good for you. Yeah. Yeah.
And you touched on something that a lot of people don't know. Um, so people think that, automatically everybody's making a lot of money. There's a lot of pros out there, male and female, that they'll take a fight and they don't get paid anything. It's just an
Hmm.
opportunity, or they'll get a few $100s here, maybe $1,000 there.
Hmm.
But the time that it takes for the training, they're not getting paid for that.
At all.
And if they have a job or a second job, they can't put that much into training or whatever. So it's people don't realize the struggle and the sacrifice, um, for people that are up and coming like yourself. And that's why we try to have a platform for people that are up and coming. We've had up and coming and we've had those that are there, but we love the up and coming because we want to put attention on yourself and others that are trying to come up and have dreams because it's tough and people don't know.
Yeah,
People don't know.
it, it it definitely is. I myself can say I personally have worked two, three jobs at a time. Right now, I'm currently only working one. A lot of my jobs were 12-hour shifts. So after a 12-hour
Hmm.
shift, I'm coming home, I'm taking care of my son, then I'm going to the gym. He comes with me to the gym. So a lot of people don't see those behind the scenes and the struggle and the pain and the nights we're
Yes.
trying to figure out, okay, I want a box, but how am I going to make it in real life? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because
Right.
at the end of the day, we
Sure.
all
Yeah.
have bills.
Yeah.
They keep coming. They don't stop.
Yeah.
That's
They
for
sure.
They do
sure.
not.
We had a question. So from writing yogi, she said, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That is a long time forward. In 5 years, I'm hoping to have established myself in the sport, competed for a couple world titles. and maybe even venture off into some modeling, maybe some acting. I'm very open to all opportunities. So I would, of course, like to be a world champion and maybe have 3, 4 belts under my title. But as much as I would like to see myself at certain places, I always realize that God is in control and it's not about what I want, it's where
Absolutely.
God's going to place me. So,
Right. You just got to stay the course, and you're doing
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
The sacrifice, the struggle, staying the course, and you're going to get everything that you want. I truly believe that. We had another question. Someone want, and you already answered this, but we're going to ask again. Jesus wanted to know, how many amateur bouts have you had?
I've had about 35, 36. I want to say after about 15, 20, you kind of just stop keeping count. Like we
Yeah.
was the it's funny because where I was competing out of Florida was elite boxing out of Oviedo. So we traveled everywhere. We went to Ohio, we went to Atlanta, we went to Cali. So we were just taking fights. There were times that I would even take fights day of. I remember there was a time that we needed to compete in Golden Gloves and they call me because we needed 5 fights. I only have 4. They call me day of, and I'll never forget because I was in the store looking for betting, and they was like, "We have a fight for you. A girl showed up. If you wanna fight, you need to be here within 2 hours." And I threw
Drop
that betting in
everything.
the cart. Oh no, I got my betting. I got my betting because it was a good
Right. It
fight.
was cute.
Couldn't leave that. It was cute, but I raced home. I got my bag, and we made it there just in time. We fought and we whooped ass. So
Oh, I
it was
love
good.
it.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great opportunity, but. Yeah, amateurs was fun.
Yeah, amateur, because you just fight anybody, like
Yeah,
whoever. It's like you
amateurs,
can't
it
pick
was
and choose and say yes or no. You just do it.
exactly.
Whoever's in front of you. Crystal, what do you have for our beautiful queen?
No, I wish you all the best wishes ever, ever. One thing I have to comment on is your humbleness. You are real with our folks in the chat and with Nika and Christina and myself. Um, there's a lot of folk out there who don't know the realistic part of the boxing world and what it's like
Mm-hmm.
as a professional boxer, the pressures that you face on every day. And for you
Mm-hmm.
to admit that and speak of it, it make you very humble, and I wish for you to stay that way. And I wish you much success.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jesus in our chat has a question. Would you ever try bare knuckle?
Okay, my coach is gonna be so mad at me, but when I first saw bare knuckle,
La la
I was
la
like,
la.
oh my god, I want to get in it, and my coach was like, you're not doing that, and I was like, coach, one day after boxing, I would love to try it. Like that's probably the rawest form of savagery you can do, and of course, I'm all about the
You're
savage life. I
tasting
got it tatted.
blood.
Yeah, I got it tatted
Yeah.
across my chest. I would love to just try it. Why not? But while I'm in my boxing career, my coach is like, absolutely not.
Good. You
So
know
you
what?
would you
Props
would
to
you
your coach.
try a little bit of MMA while you're doing boxing? Like,
I actually have no interest to do MMA. They don't really get paid a lot.
okay.
Their injuries are disgusting. Like those leg breaks.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did Muay Thai, I did jujitsu, and the injuries are just brutal. And I like to make money. I don't want to be out for a year or 6 months because my
And that,
leg got broken. Yeah, no, I'm good.
and then
Facts.
No
the one
desire.
fight you got it from didn't even pay you that much. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. No.
No,
Yeah.
because you know why?
Facts.
Actually, because I feel like you would look you have to look as like a nice MMA fighter that you would kill it in there. But you now that you played out like that, you know what? Don't even touch it.
Yeah,
Don't
they
even touch it.
a lot of people because I grew up around boxing, and then I did grow up around a little bit of the MMA world, and they're not getting paid as much as people think. Like a lot of those people that are making money, a lot of them come through sponsorships, kind of like boxing, but for
Absolutely.
the
That's
amount
the
of
sponsorships.
injuries
Yeah.
that they have, no, I'm good. You can't. Nope.
Yeah. I totally agree with you for sure. I totally respect it, and I train some UFC fighters for the striking part of it, and I
Mhm.
totally respect them. But yeah, boxing is my jam. But question. So you said you have a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
So what does your baby think about mama getting out there and boxing?
My son is probably one of the most proudest 7-year-olds you'll ever
Oh,
meet in your life. It's
I
funny
bet.
because he's always talking about, oh, my mom's a pro fighter. He goes to the school. I went to the school for a parent teacher conference one time. First time ever stepping
Love
into
it.
the school, and they was like, "Oh, you fight, aren't you? You're a pro fighter." And I was like, "Yeah." They was like, "Yeah, Frankie tells everybody." My son's name is
Oh, I
Franco,
love it.
so
I love
he
it.
could. He's been in the gym with me since 9 months. So after I had my
That's
son, I
beautiful.
started training. And yeah, so he could spot me in a video for amateurs. He used to look on TV and be like, "That's my mom." So he's a
Are you gonna
Why
boss
have
not?
over
Why
here.
not
are you
have
gonna have your
superheroes in the
fights?
house? Why not?
Are you gonna have them at your
Exactly.
fights? Because a lot of boxers don't want their kids at their fight. Just they don't want to have them see them getting punched on. But he looks like he's
Oh no,
he sounds like he's
I'm very I'm very open to it because if my son eventually wants to do it, because he does kind of dabble in it, I don't force him to box. I'm not one of those parents that's like, you have to fight because your mom's a
Yeah.
fighter. But I do
Yeah.
want him to see the realistic side of, listen, if you do want to fight, you might get a broken nose. You're gonna be bloody. I mean, he was just in the gym with me and he's seen me bleeding. I want him to know that this is as much fun as it was in amateurs, pros is dangerous. So I'm very open to him going to every single fight, and he does. He's been at all three of my pro fights. My fight in DR, he did not come to because mom needed a vacation after that
okay.
fight.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I went
I
on
know that's
vacation,
right. Yes, girl. I hear you. So,
but yeah,
so
I love him at my fights.
something that you and Nika have in common is that y'all both love Mike Tyson. Is that true?
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God, I love Mike Tyson. He's one of my favorite fighters.
See?
That's Nika too. Nika
Yeah,
Tyson.
yeah, it's Mike Tyson. Yeah, that's what I call myself, Mike Tyson.
I
But
think
I
he
was
was
trying to
such a
behave this year,
rare
but I'm
breed.
just letting everybody know I failed, so I'm gonna try again next year. So
I
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So, I want to ask you your top three, or if that's too much, top two female fighters.
Um, it people always ask me this, and it's so hard because there's so
Pressure.
many different female fighters, and there's so many different things I pick from each fighter. Like Clarissa Shields, I absolutely love her, not only for her boxing abilities, but who she is as a person. I love her discipline. Alicia Bumgardner, I actually sparred with her back in the day. And just to see how much she's grown as a fighter, I absolutely love. Amanda Serrano, because yo soy un boricua. Like you can't talk boxing without
hello,
talking Amanda Serrano.
hello.
That's
So
true. That's the queen right there.
I love her. Like it's so hard because so many fighters offer so many different styles and disciplines, and I like to kind of study each of them and take a little bit from each fighter.
So, since you mentioned Clarissa
Mhm.
and Alicia, I'm going to ask you, what are you thinking about all the beef that's going on between? Are you on Twitter?
I, I'm not on Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
Okay, well, there's been
I have
some
seen it. I have seen it.
beef.
Um,
Talk to me. What are your thoughts on that?
Part of me wonders, is it really beef or is it really
A build up?
yeah, and I personally think I'm all for every female fighter calling out whoever they want, because at the end of the day, is it really beef or is it really we're just trying to make money and put on the best shows? Somebody
Yeah,
asked me one time, am I ever mad at my opponents? Like, I don't have nothing to be mad about at them. I just love to fight. So I would
right.
love to see an Alicia Bumgarner and a Carissa Shields fight. But is it realistic? I don't know, because their weight classes are so different. Those are two
Yeah,
totally separate weight classes. Once you start climbing up the ladder, um, it gets a little, I want to say, tedious, because when you have heavier girls, they're a little bit slower punchers. When you have lighter girls going up to heavier weights, the lighter girls, of course, they got fast hands, but can they handle the power of a girl that
mm-hmm,
normally
mm-hmm.
walks at what, 170, 180? I don't know.
190.
190.
If
Like,
Yeah,
I love both of them too, but is it a
absolutely.
realistic fight? I don't know, but it makes
no,
some money, so why not?
Well,
yeah,
and
I feel like it once there's a situation that needs to be cleared up, because to be honest, I feel like this is the deflection of Alicia popping dirty in her last fight. That's still being investigated. So like now everybody's bashing Clarissa, and I feel like, oh, this is a good PR move. Like they just like did this here, and now nobody's talking about that. So I don't appreciate people bashing Clarissa. It's like y'all forget that, and people she's like saying these things. She's like, okay, you call me out and we can fight, but you got to get off the suspension list first. And then there's no addressing it. So it's like,
That
you know,
I
I'm
mean,
not your
that
girl or
hurt.
whatever, but we
that
just
is
got to talk.
fact.
What is real is real. Like, nobody's talking about that. So I'm sorry.
My
I
heart a
don't
little
feel like
bit
Clarissa's
because
wrong for not even entertaining that, because the girl can't even fight her right now.
and that definitely it hurt my heart when the news came out about Alicia Bumgardner, and it was definitely a big debate in our gym about whether she was really popping or because there are, and I'm aware, you know, I've been not only in the boxing field, but I've also been in the gym industry. You know, I was a personal trainer. I've been around different athletes, and there are supplements you can take that make it easier to cut. Now, is it necessarily a performance enhancer? No. Does it make it easier to stay slim and trim and things like that? Yes. So when that news came out of Alicia, it was definitely a disappointment, but then it was also a question of she's never popped dirty before. So was it valid? And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, none of us are really going to know if it's valid or not. Only her and her team know that. And you know, she's been around for a long time. Has she ever popped dirty before? No.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, there are some things that are on the list. We've seen the list before that maybe aren't necessarily enhancers, but they help you with other things. Like we get it, you know, but they're
Hmm.
still on the list, and I think that's the problem. You know, even though they're not going to help you hit harder or this, maybe they help you cut water, cut weight, whatever.
Hmm.
They're on the list, and that's the thing for
I just
whatever
don't.
reason.
I don't appreciate people saying that Clarissa's like scared to fight her, and it's just like,
No,
no, she's
that
not.
woman is a
Like
Yeah,
savage.
she
neither one are
she knows
afraid.
this right now. This fight can't even happen. So like, why should she even entertain it? So she feels like she's being used as a distraction, and I agree, because it's like it came out of left field, just like out of nowhere. And then she's asking like, you can't even fight me right now. Like, are you even eligible to fight? And she won't even address that. So
And I think I have a theory. So I have God bless my brother. I've lost a brother, but I had four brothers growing up. And we would play like, you know, I'm gonna punch you. Like, don't punch me hard, but we're gonna punch and we're gonna go back and forth. And so in the
Hmm.
beginning, everybody agrees we're gonna punch each other, but then somebody hits too hard, and then somebody gets mad. You know, so for me, I was thinking, you know, maybe Alicia and Clarissa said, you know what, let's punch each other a little bit. Let's get this fight going. You know, somebody's gonna have to move up, and Clarissa can't move
Hmm.
down too much.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe Alicia punched too hard and hit a nerve, and Clarissa was like, you know what,
yeah, you know
fuck
what? I
this.
don't need this clout, you know. So go ahead and do that by yourself over there. Like she,
Well,
she was
over
about
the
it.
last weekend, they asked to do one friendly. Uh,
Uh oh.
No.
Ah,
Like what you were about to say.
oh, you're muted, Crystal.
oh, okay, sorry.
Oh,
So
Okay, it's
they
okay.
asked to do one friendly face-off, right? But
Yes.
Clarissa say we not friends. She make it very clear. So if that's the case, I, I think the deflection sound more likely to me
mhm,
than actually let's build up a fight.
Hmm.
mhm.
Yeah.
Cause she
Yeah.
knows she feel well. I don't know if she, because I don't know if it to be true, but she feels like she's being used as a distraction, and I agree from what I'm seeing. So, she,
Yeah.
but
You know,
it
so
would be a good fight if they build it up and they meet at a weight that they both agree on. That they
Hmm.
would. They already have like a nasty little rival going on now, so it would sell. So I wouldn't be mad at it. So.
no, yeah.
I wouldn't
So
either.
they both just were in my town. I'm Dallas, and so my girl Shay Metcalf was there, and she said that she talked to Clarissa, and Clarissa said, you know, that Dak Prescott had asked her, you know, would she do a friendly face off, because Alicia asked, and she said, well, she didn't ask me. She needs to ask me, and it's not going to be friendly because we're not friends. So then it leads me to believe, well, maybe, you know, there's some bad blood now, and let's see what's going to happen. But for me, as much as I respect Alicia and any fighter that gets in the ring, if I'm Clarissa, you know, and I have all the jewelry, well, you're gonna have to come closer to my weight or
Exactly.
come to
Yeah.
my weight,
I
you
do.
Yeah.
I
know.
do agree with that. Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you know what? It's exciting. I love it. It's why we love the sport. We want to see the best fight the best. and I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. But Shamara, before we let you go, what are some dream fights besides and including not besides, including you, that you want to see in this new 2024?
Um, I don't know if there's any. Okay, so obviously Alicia's kind of in a predicament right now with getting busted, but I would love to see Alicia and Amanda Serrano. Like I know Amanda Serrano's actually, I think kind of and we have to be realistic. Amanda's been fighting for a long time. I think she's starting to work her way out the door. Just
Mm-hmm.
because of her age and how long, we can
Mm-hmm.
only take punishment for so long. Let's just be real.
Mm-hmm.
But I would
Mm-hmm.
love to see Alicia Bumgardner and Amanda Serrano. I think that would be an
That
amazing
would be a good
fight.
one. Yeah, that would be a good
I
one.
like that. I like that.
But
I
she
like
said
that.
Alicia
she's
gonna
not
have
gonna
to.
fight anybody right now unless they're 3-minute rounds. Is what
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's a big controversy, but there is no way. This is my personal opinion. There is no way that I'm gonna fight, as we call it, man rounds for less money. Why do I
Without the
want to do what a
man
man's
money.
doing?
Yeah,
And
man
I'm not getting
rounds,
the man
man
money.
money.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna pay me what the men are getting paid for these big fights, sure, I'll do it. But if you're not, I'm gonna keep my butt in the 2-minute rounds and the 10 rounds. That's it. Don't ask
Preach,
me to
girl.
do a man round,
Preach.
and you're
yeah.
not gonna pay me what
Absolutely.
I no.
I think that's most of the female boxers' consensus to it because if you're gonna move up another minute and fight the same amount
Pay
of
me,
minutes, pay me. Yeah.
pay me the money I
Show me
need to
the
Absolutely.
be
money.
paid.
Show me the money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know there's a
Absolutely.
lot of
Absolutely.
controversy online that women's boxing isn't as big and the yada yada yada. But you asking me to do the same thing as a man is doing, so I want to get paid the same. It's like in the workforce, just because we're a man and woman, we doing the same job.
And not all
Be
the
style
men are doing
by.
it. The men are not doing all the same job, and they're not getting all paid the same either.
That's
So
true. We've
it's
seen.
controversial wherever you look.
I have
Mm-hmm.
another question. Since you're a newly professional boxer, but let's say you were gonna get into the ring tomorrow with somebody that you think that you can hang with right now, like who would it be?
Why you
I know
gonna
that's
put me
kind of
on the
messy.
spot like that? There's a couple girls I be seeing that I'm
It might
like,
not. You might be speaking it
Sizing
into
them up
existence.
like,
You might be speaking it
uh.
into existence. You know, there's nothing wrong with challenging people. You know,
we
this is
will
boxing.
we will be going down in weight. There's a couple girls. We only on my fourth fight. I'm not gonna throw that out there just yet, but just know there's girls that I'm watching, and I'm like, this girl
Ooh,
cannot
Tony
fight.
Yayo said Jessica McCatskill. Hey,
But
let's
she's not.
I
go.
actually do know who she is. Yeah, I would fight her. She's
But
a
All the
decent
smoke,
she's
fighter.
not at.
all
What
the
is she at?
smoke.
She's at
I want to say 30, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought 35, but maybe 30. You're right. Somebody correct us. Let us know. Somebody get the Google out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it might be 30. I know her. I know who
Okay.
her trainer is and all that. I actually do watch her, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
couple girls we're watching. I don't wanna call them out too early because I'm
Okay,
still
that's
new in
okay.
the game,
We
y'all.
that's okay. We
Just
just
turned
gotta have
pro.
you on again. We just gotta have you on again later on, and then you can call them out. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
good. You good. Crystal, what is a question or two you want to ask before we let the champ go?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right.
You
Well,
do a
that's
great
good.
job. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming and
you.
joining us.
No, absolutely. But before we let you go, your top two male boxers.
Canelo Alvarez. I love me some Canelo Alvarez, and it
Okay.
sounds as crazy as it sounds. Canelo, and most people would think I love Floyd, but it's actually Mike Tyson because not only because of who he is as a fighter, but what he went through mentally and what he went through
Mm-hmm.
physically, and just the type of fighter he is. Like if you watch his interviews, he talks about how he used to be in the back room and he would be crying like because he was afraid of who he was. And I absolutely love that because not a lot of people are honest with themselves. Like this is a
You're right.
sport where like I get in the ring and I love fighting, but if I wasn't in the ring, I'd probably be in jail because I do have that aggressive nature, because I do walk around and I am angry. I can be very honest about that. If I'm not boxing, I'm very hostile. And I
I
don't
feel
think a
you.
lot of fighters are open about that. And then when you learn to control that and you're in a sport like this, like I absolutely love Tyson for how he was able to control it and be in the ring. And of course, Canelo Alvarez, he my favorite. I love Canelo. I love to
I
train in his
love it.
camp one day. Like the
I
fact
love it.
that he
Hey,
broke a man's
put it
eye
out
socket.
there. Yeah, put it out
Yo,
there.
Canelo
You never
Alvarez, you
know.
watching this? I'm coming to your camp.
Okay, you hear that? Okay, we're gonna put it out there. We're gonna tag him. We're gonna call him out. Absolutely. You know what, Shamara? It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so
Yes.
much for coming
You have to
on.
give people the social media
Yeah,
handles that you
everybody's
do that
asking about your
that you
stuff.
are on.
Yes,
Cool.
exactly.
You can follow me on Facebook, Shamara Woods. You can try and friend request me. I think I got too many friend requests, so you just have to follow. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Pure Perfection _SW. That's actually my fight name, is Pure Perfection. You'll notice me because I typically fight in all white with a little bit of accent colors.
Okay.
Love it. Absolutely. And we're gonna be watching out for you. And please, we want you to come on again.
Yes.
Absolutely. Anytime. I love doing interviews. Sometimes be a little nervous because I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
what they're going to ask.
you seem
We are
comfortable with it.
easy.
Yeah, you seem so comfortable with it.
We are
You
so
do great.
easy. We're the easiest interviewer ever have because we just have fun. We just talk. We just sit. We just sitting at a bar, sitting at a restaurant, having a good time. We good. So you have a good night, and
Yes.
definitely we will have you back. Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank you,
much.
ladies. Have a great night.
Okay, have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Bye bye. That was great. That was so good. I like her. She's awesome.
Yes.
She's absolutely, absolutely awesome.
It will be
Um,
interesting what she in the next year or two, what happened, what path she
yes,
took.
yes, absolutely. And that's the thing.
she
You're
has a
absolutely
great
right, Crystal.
personality, so I think she would be great. Like to even like to build a fight. If she needed to talk shit, I could tell that she could talk shit. So
Oh, yeah, I think she can too. And I was talking to a coach today, um, and we were talking about the business, and I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, but I do know that a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know. Unfortunately and fortunately, because there's so much good talent out there, but unless you know the right people and have the right people moving you, you never get the opportunity. So I just really pray that
That's so
her
true.
path is great. Right. Crystal, you know
Hmm.
too.
Hmm.
So I'm really hoping and praying that she does know the right people, and obviously, I'm nobody, but I'll help anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the conversation that I had today, which is it's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of talent out there. That's one of the reasons why chicken, you know,
no, they didn't. Look,
just
socially scientific. We're not demonetized. Tomorrow, Christine has to make a bank accounts to
I
attach to
know.
the
I'm
thing. So next week we will have
Yes,
the
we did not connect the
cash.
bank account,
Okay,
but there's the cash app.
we do
I'm
not get
so
demonetized.
sorry.
Do not start that rumor. Okay.
We know you want to throw those dollars at
Yeah,
Crystal. I'm
yes,
so
and we appreciate it.
sorry.
So don't start that rumor. We are not demonetized. Okay.
We are not. No, we're not. We're not. Don't start the rumor.
Okay.
We still got it. We still got it. Um, but ladies, before we, there's a few things I want to talk about. So 2024 hit us beautifully, beautifully, and then the next day, the shit hits the fan. There's been some stuff on Twitter and in the media and the news, and I'm like, people are going crazy.
I know.
Crystal, what have you seen, and what are you thinking? Like, what's going on?
So first of all, let me back up to this USA boxing with the transgender rule, right?
Okay.
Let me. I've been saving my.
See, I know Christine can't really comment on it, so you and I can though. All right.
Well, and honestly, I cannot say too much either because of my position. So this is what I will say. The fact that we live in the society that we live in the United States of America, this is a topic that must be addressed, similar to same gender marriage a few years back. Similar to right now, if you go to the school, the local public school, in the laws, in the rules, they will say something similar to the fact, we apologize, we cannot cater to the benefit of your animals. So teenagers who are identifying as animals, we are not
Oh,
allowing
and that is a thing.
the
That is a
catwalk
thing.
in the bathroom. This is not allowed,
Yes.
right? So we have to
Yes.
address these topics, right? Um, we will not allow anyone to wear anything over their head now in schools, in the public schools, unless they have a religious preference. Because now we have a lad that say, how come I cannot wear a baseball cap, but they can wear ears because I identify as a cat or a dog? Okay, these are topics that must be addressed. One other thing is you cannot marry your lawnmower for a tax deduction.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are true and valid points that have been brought up into the Congress. Okay, so please understand what I'm saying is USA Boxing is addressing a topic, okay, of the transgender. The transgender topic that they bring up, there's also very strict guidelines. In order for someone to perhaps go this path, they will have to start at the young age of 12, 13 years old in order to be in amateur boxing uh, as a transgender. Because of the detail that they put in the rules, the testosterone has to be at such a low level. Okay, so we have to be very objective when we are looking at this. We can't, I'm sorry, I'm not one who will say F you USA Boxing because they address a situation. Okay, I think in the pro level, what we will see is a new category similar to Masters Division. We will now see transgender division, right?
I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
I think this will be eventually what it will go to. But for today, they address the situation because if they don't, where it put USA Boxing?
Right.
The folks
And who knows if there's a lawsuit or not pending. And so
exactly.
that's the reason why they were pushed. I don't know. I don't know.
There are reasons as to why they have to address this topic, right? Someone
Absolutely.
somewhere want to do this, so we have to address the topic. Just like
Absolutely.
you cannot marry a lawnmower, okay? You cannot marry someone who don't have a heartbeat, okay?
Right.
This is now a part of legislature in some states.
That's crazy.
Lance Mayer says, why is this a conversation? Well, the reason why, Lance, whether we want to have it or not, whether it be uncomfortable or not, it is the world that we're living in right now, and
Yeah.
people are asking
We don't
questions,
talk about it.
and so we do have
happening
to
in
talk
boxing,
about it.
so we're talking about it. I mean,
Yeah,
or if you're being
exactly.
sarcastic, like, why is this even a conversation? So if that was the way you meant it, then apologize. But
Yeah, no, yeah, we apologize, but right now this is the topic. It is a topic in the amateur boxing realm, and it's been in the pro too, but it hasn't been it hasn't been allowed as far as I know, um, or it hasn't been made a big deal. But now it is, so that's what it is. Obviously, I respect everybody and their decision on what they want to do, but I would like to see a separate league, for transgenders, and I want them to be happy too. But I would like to see a separate league. I really would.
well, I
So,
apologize, Lance. If you weren't being disrespectful, then I apologize if I came off a little aggressive. Look at me trying to be nice. 2024.
hey, 2024, Nike is being nice. No, you're
Nice.
always nice. You're always
The first
nice.
couple
You're
of
always
days,
nice. People pick at you.
that already went
You're
out the window.
always. So, and I hate to talk about people's downfall. I really do. But in me saying what I'm about to say, it's not even about making fun or saying anything negative. It's about there's a problem and we need to address a problem. And what I was going to bring up was Big Baby Miller getting arrested, for carjacking and for burglary. And so I'm a mom, and I look deeper into stuff. And even when I wasn't a mom, I looked deeper into things. And I'm thinking, What is going on? You know, he had a very failed attempt to come back into boxing. What's going on mentally? You know, and I'm concerned. You know, did y'all see the headlines? Did y'all see anything that
Yeah.
was going on with that?
When I saw how aggressive the attack was, so it sounded like he was trying to get a car back that was repossessed. But I just thought he just had a fight in Saudi and he got paid. So I don't know. That could be. So they said he jumped on the man, like slammed him and everything. So, you know, Big Baby is a big baby, you know? So
Yeah,
to slam a
yeah.
man, Big Baby did some damage. So that was aggressive. So I feel like there's something else going on, and I hope he sorts that out and, you know, gets back on
I
the right.
do too.
But
You know, and
that's
yes,
not like
he did.
something normal that people do every day. So something's
No,
wrong.
he did get paid. Maybe he didn't get paid in time to save his car. I don't know. You know, and frustration, and I've been there. I've been to where, you know, you're at your last dollar and you're desperate, and you know, you have a family or whatever. I won't say that I've taken the same, you know, route that he did, but I know how it feels. So I'm just wondering, you know, what kind of people he has around him, and we've talked about that before. What kind of people do you have around you, and how are they counseling you, and how are they directing you? So it's just it's not a good look. Crystal, did you see that? Did you see the news report?
I just read the caption. I don't really read anything else, so I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
It
This
it
is
is
is.
what
unfortunate.
Detail saying right here is what happened. He assaulted a salesman, conspired with the female to ambush him, stole the car after choking dude out, and slammed him. Yeah. So
Mm.
those are not.
Chances
That's
are
that.
this again. They go he boxing career.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. And he's gotten so many chances. I mean, he really has. But you know, let's see what happens. I wish him the best. And then before we take off, you know, something that's very disheartening, but it's just like disheartening, but it just makes you, I don't know, think and wonder. You know, there were so many like negative things coming out in 2024, you know, wishing death upon people, um, you know,
Oh,
praising death upon people.
don't
And
give me.
it's like, yeah, we have another opportunity. Like we have another opportunity every day. Like every day is the first day of the rest of our life. We should be better than we were yesterday. But when the year changes, we have another opportunity. And it just makes you wonder where are we going? Where are we going as a society? As a not just the boxing community, but as a society, you know. It's kind of sad. I don't know. What before we close out, what are your thoughts on that?
So, you know, I am so disgusted with so many people on Twitter, boxing Twitter. There are so many nasty souls on the couple of first days of 2024. Like a friend of mine, Ray, well, I'm not going to put his business out there, but somebody had a death in their family. And, you know this person's a troll, but like he had a death in his family. So people were just like on the post that I made about him, like saying disgusting things, you know, like wishing death on like another parent, you know, and it's so disgusting. And uh, I was gonna be nice this year and I'm not like entertain people, but then when I saw that, I lost my mind. I lost my nerves, like my hands were literally shaking when I was like typing in, like I was like, so you know, you people disgust me. And I hope all the people that were like, you know what, I'm not even gonna wish bad on any of y'all, because it's the shit that y'all got coming for you. It's just gonna come for you. I don't have to wish nothing on nobody. But souls, they need cleansing. They really need cleansing. That's what I gotta say about that.
Crystal, what do we need? What do we need in the world? Not just the boxing world, but what do we need in the world?
I don't think soap will take care of any of that cleansing matter of any of those lads that Nike speaking of. Neither of the lad that I have in the back of my mind. It's ugly. It's an ugly place
See,
to
like
be.
this person right here. Like, are you trying to be funny? Like, okay. Oh,
That's
yeah.
me. I'm the black girl. That's me.
This is like, what's it even mean? Like,
That's me.
what day are we on this year? Like, the year just
This is
started. Like,
cool.
this is
Look,
the way.
look,
This is how miserable people are. Like, I don't get it. I do not get it.
Mr. Thrill, he said everyone should be drinking the water. If they listen to
Yeah,
Nika and take her advice,
drink
they
the
shall be
water.
drinking the water. Right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But don't listen to me. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything.
It's all good. You know what? I love my girls. I love my chat, and I just like appreciate y'all so much. So before we hit the hay, last words, Crystal. Last words for the night.
Welcome to 2024. Let's make the most of it. We can only control ourselves, so no reason to try to control no one else. Listen to Nika, drink your water, and be good people. Think of everyone before you speak or before you type, because some of this is just plain ugly.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Nika. Your last words for the night.
I might try to be nice again because I really don't even want to give people my energy anymore because I was like, I failed at it already the first couple of days. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to try to ignore you trolls. I'm going to try. But I said this is a new year in the same Nika. So if I was to revert back to cursing you out, I said I was going to be the same Nika. So it really wouldn't matter. So thanks to the chat for tuning in tonight. Come back and see us next week. I hope everybody had a great new year. And, don't jump on that nasty soul train. just don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna end by saying, I said that block season was 2024, but you know what? I think it's mute season because I'm not gonna let anybody know that they've gotten to me, number one. Number two, I'm a little petty. I try to be very professional, but I'm a little petty. And that's why I wear my tank tops and I wear chains, because I'm a little petty. But everybody have a good night. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But everybody have a great night. And I love my girls. I love the chat. And we will see you on next Wednesday.
Good night.